Hello and welcome, you bunch of cunts! I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi of the internet, and today we're playing some Infect. We're playing Bug Infect. Blue, black, and green Infect. That's right, this feels old school. This feels like Infect from back in the day in Standard. Before we get started, I just want to shout out to Jeff Jow, who played this deck to a 4th place finish at MTG Vegas, and it is a metagame stomper. So we've got the normal green shit. Let's go through that real quickly, explain what Infect does, and then I'll explain the innovations, the changes. So Glistener Elf is our Infect creature. Infect reads that this creature deals damage in the -1/-1 counters or poison counters to a player. If the player has 10 or more poison counters, they lose the game. So the idea is that we want to hit them with an Infect creature, and we want to pump it with pump spells to kill them for 10 points of damage very quickly. Our primary Infect creatures are Glistener Elf, Blighted Agent in the blue slot because it's unblockable, and Inkmoth Nexus in the land base. That's the normal green suite, and then our green spells are 8 different versions of Hierarchs, where Ignoble and Noble Hierarch, 4 Mutagenic Growth, which is a 3+2/+2, Blossoming Defense, which is a +2/+2, but it gains Hexproof, so we can protect from removal spells, very important at protecting the Queen, because we're kind of like a Protect the Queen kind of deck. Might of Old Crowser, which is just a 4+4/+4 pump in main phase, and sometimes you use the sped up version, the instant speed version for the +2/+2, if you're playing into removal. Hopefully that can't later. Scale Up, which is an addition from the original Modern Horizons, which gives us transforms our creature into a 6/4 base power and toughness. So it's a huge bump, but that's sorcery speed is the downside. The Overload is never going to come up. And then Binds the Vassal is similar to Blossoming Defense, but it's 1 green to give Hexproof, or should I say Shroud, sorry. No, it is Hexproof. Protection from your opponent's abilities, and for 2 green it gets +4/+4 as well. It's got some really interesting stuff. Back when Twin was a thing, you could Vines their Pestamite to stop the Twin resolving onto it, because it's target creature and affects your opponent's control. It's very interesting. So that's the normal shit, and our mana base is 20 lands, quite low, 4 Inkmoth, a load of fetch lands to power up, Become Immense, which is the other 2 pump spells in the deck, and then we've got some weird stuff like Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth to make all our lands tap for green, Urborg to make all our lands tap for black, and then Pendelhaven that can pump all our 1/1s. And then the innovation comes in the form of Phyrexian Crusader. So Phyrexian Crusader is a 2/2 first striking protection from red, protection from white Infect creature. It is the mirrored version of Mirroring Crusader, a card that I've played a ton on the channel, on stream, and just throughout my time playing Magic, from Standard right into D&T and stuff like that. I love a double striking creature carrying swords. This thing doesn't have double strike as first strike, but it has Infect. Now, the reason that this is such a good metagame call, and again, another shout out, not just Jeff Java playing this, but Nikachu MTG put out a video talking about this that drew it to my attention earlier in the week, or late last week, whatever the fuck it was, I can't remember. Got back from Vegas last week and time has had no meaning. This thing's a metagame call. Doesn't die to Unholy Heat, doesn't die to Bolt, doesn't die to Prismatic Ending, doesn't die to all the premier removal spells of the format, to fairies out of the control decks and shit like that, right? When you've got Hammer Time running around, you've got Murktide Regent red-blue decks, you've got 4 and 5 color Omnath variants, control variants with Teferis and Prismatic Endings, you've got Azorius Control, all that shit. This survives all of that. Now there is, and don't forget, Amulet Titan doesn't even know what the fuck to do against Infect. It just gets smashed before it gets off the ground, because the deck is rather fast and benefits from your opponent not interacting with you. That said, there are decks that I am fearful that we go up against. Like looking at the metagame now on my other screen, I don't think we want to... Well, Burn can't deal with this, we get fucked. But Crashing Footfall seems like a deck that has a linear game plan itself that can be as fast as us, and we don't want to see any mid-range. So no Jund. Rakdos mid-range maybe, but if they've got black removal spells we don't. But no Jund, no mid-range. Because anyone packing black-based removal is going to absolutely fuck us, and we don't want to see that. And that's the deck, really. We're going to go 0 to 10 as fast as we can. You can get all the jokes out of your system about haha, Infect, coronavirus, and all that shit right now if you want. I'm not going to make any jokes like that. This is a slow play, so slightly more relaxed, slightly more focused on the actual gameplay than me fucking about. But have some fun with it. It's a deck that I haven't played in a long time. Last time I played Infect, I don't think Scale Up had been printed. So it's been a while since I've played Infect at all. I don't even know if I've actually played it on the channel before. I've had it on the channel against it in leagues. I've played against it in paper on some legacy gameplay from a long time ago. I'm not even sure if we've made it onto the main channel. And of course, we've got Cyborg, which has like endurances for fucking with graveyards, surgicals. We have Force of Vigor and Gem Razor for fucking with artifacts. So I guess a Hammer Time is a legitimate concern Ashok and Nissa for grind. If you like the video, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe as well for more modern Legacy Commander and just general Magic content. I make a shit ton of different stuff over here. And if you really want to help support, there's two ways to do it. One is check out the Patreon link in the description below to help sign up for just $2 a month to get involved with Patreon, where you get a free altar sleeve every month and you get access to the Discord server. Or if you pick up singles and cards from the Channel Fireball Marketplace, use the code KENOBI at checkout to help support the show. And with that out of the way, let's play some Modern.
Round 1. Fight!
Okay, our opening hand doesn't have an Infect creature in it other than the Inkmoth Nexus, so maybe we can get there. This might be a bad start to play Infect for the first time in a very long time. They appear to be on some sort of Lurrus deck. I hope it's not Lurrus Jund, because Jund will actually give them ways to beat us. Okay, it's going to be Inquisition of Kozilek here. They take our pump spell, which is interesting. Perhaps they have multiple removal spells. Going to lead with a Noble Hierarch, and by Noble I mean Ignoble Hierarch. I'm going to get them mixed up throughout the entire fucking video, no doubt. Tarmogoyf from our opponent. We play a Noble Hierarch and we pass the turn back to our opponent. We've played the Income Nexus as well, so it's not summoning it next turn, which means we can kind of go for the kill potentially. They attack us for 3 and we're just going to take it. I assume they've got they got kill spells here. Perhaps a Drown in the Lock or a Fatal Push. We kind of want to dodge that stuff if we could. There might be a world where we have to scale up our own Hierarch to... well, I know we can't do that to block the Tarmogoyf. We might have to become immense it on Microcrossfit to try and kill this Tarmogoyf if we get threatened too far. But hopefully they don't have any removal spells. We just get to get in here for a load of Infect. They've got to play around Vines of the Vastwood here as well. We could have gone for it with Scale Up plus Become Immense for like the kill. But if they're a removal spell, we don't really have much to follow up from there. So I'm happy just to try and push it and also fake the Vines of the Vastwood. They're going to go in for a removal spell here though. So we're going to see a dead Inkmoth Nexus, unfortunately. They've taken 3 Infect here. They didn't kill it. They fetched in a weird way. I don't know what they fetched for. Maybe they've meant to fetch for a blue source so they could Archmage Charm something. I don't know. They've got Assassin's Trophy now, and that's fine. They did it after, in case we had Vines to really go for the win. There's a tension where you might not want to fire off the Assassin's Trophy while we're in combat, because then we Vines and also cast like a Might of War Crossor or Mutagenic Growth or Become Immense or something, and then we win the game off the back of it. They attack with a 3-4. We're going to take it. We didn't draw another Infect creature, so I guess we're just on the beatdown plan now. Gonna pump our Noble Hierarch, or Ignoble Hierarch with a Might of War Crossor. They're gonna flash in an Ice Fang Coatl to block and kill it. But it doesn't actually have Death Touch here, so we're actually okay. This will grow the Goyf to a 4-5, but we don't give a fuck. All good, all good. They hit no damage. Next turn we might just overload the scale up and get in for 12. And then become immense the following turn. Although scaling up will mean tapping some of our dorks, so that seems bad, actually. They cling to dust a land from our bin and draw a card. They attack us for 4. I think we can take it here, and then next turn we'll have to defensively block if we don't draw anything good. We're going to crack this Verdant. Groundway Tomb with no shocking. If they have nothing here, we kill them. If they have something, then we're in a bad shape. So we Might of War Crossor and we scale up our Noble Hierarch this time, not the Ignoble Hierarch. I'm going to keep them guessing, you see. And we're going to go to combat. We attack for 12 here. Obviously, it's lethal with Become Immense if they don't have any removal or any blockers. They have Snapcaster Trophy, which means we might be out of perpetual lands, funnily enough. So they're going to block with the Snapcaster and let it die. Sure. Or they're going to block and then Trophy, so they'll still have the Snap here, which is actually a threat considering we're on 5. We're going to sandbag the Foothills to make it look like we have 2 spells. They have to play around 2 things. They've got a Decay for the Hierarch, so we don't even get to Become Immense it to block the Goyf. Maybe a defensive block earlier would have been better, but we got absolutely trashed by, well, mono removal deck. I'm trimming all Mutagenic Growths to bring in Ashok, 2 Endurances, and Nissa. Nissa allows us to grind, and the other 3 are to fuck with their graveyards, and they're searching because they're a Tarmogoyf deck and a Snappy deck. Perhaps keeping a non-Infector was also bad, and then into a deck with so much removal is also bad. And then this hand is unkeepable. This hand is fine. We've got Ashok as well. We've got 2 Infectors. I might just put the Might of War Crossor on the bottom here. This doesn't have pro green though, so it doesn't attack through Tarmogoyfs, but Ashok will shrink Goyfs. So yeah, we're going to bottom Might of War Crossor. We're going to play an Inkmoth Nexus, which will give us a 1 point of Infect attack next turn. They play Botanical Sanctum. I'm going to play a Heath and go get an Overgrown Tomb and shock myself so we can play Phyrexian Crusader on curve. Animate our Inkmoth and get into the red zone for 1 Infect. Spreading Seas on our Inkmoth Nexus is fine. We have no way to get rid of that, but it's a thing that they've done, I guess. Now, the problem we've got is they've got Abrupt Decays and Assassin's Trophies. They've got all these removal spells. They're actually really good into our Phyrexian Crusader. where the rest of the format doesn't. So it's a bit of a frustration. Maybe everything's moved on from Vegas already. We're like a week out and the entire metagame has shifted to beat Phyrexian Crusader. They trophy our Crusader. We're going to get a Forest here. We play an Ashok hoping they don't crack the fetch, but they will fetch in response. It's the correct thing to do. They cracked the fetch. They saw the line! Comment section. Impressive. Most impressive. They've played fetch lands into an Ashok effect before. Ashok resolves. We're going to mill them and exile graveyards. We got rid of some stuff. What we got rid of doesn't really matter, but I just want the graveyard to be as small as possible to not enable Tarmogoyfs and similar. Play this Forest and playing Noble Hierarch. We have so much mana next turn. We have enough mana to cast both Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, and a Phyrexian Crusader. They play a Tarmogoyf. It's a 2-3. We can't shrink it by eating our graveyard, unfortunately. Play a Nissa. We're going to uptick and make a plant that can block this Tarmogoyf. Now, they could counter this with... They did not counter this, okay. With a Drown the Lock or similar. Maybe even just straight up counter spell with double blue. We're all good. We're going to make a plant. I'm not going to bother upticking Ashok because it doesn't get anything out of their bin right now. I don't know if going shields down for no Blossoming Defense was a good idea. They just cracked their fetch into the Ashok, which was interesting. They're going to push my Crusader here. Shame we didn't have a Blossoming Defense, but what can you do? They're going to Inquisition my Blossoming Defense away. But to be fair, we would have just lost the Nissa if we'd kept Blossoming Defense up to protect the Phyrexian Crusader here. Drown the Lock kills the token, and now they get to kill one of my Planeswalkers. It's going to be the Ashok, I'd assume. Their just 1,000 removal spells is just so good into us. I can't even be that mad, right? Like Bug mid-range or Jund mid-range. Decks playing a lot of removal is not what we want to play into. We lose Nissa, which is our card advantage engine, our grinding engine, really. We get to shrink the Goyf ever so slightly this turn. Sure, I guess. Mill them and exile their stuff. Now we can defensively block with Ignoble Hierarch into this Tarmogoyf and kill it with a Becoments. They'll probably have a removal spell for it anyway, because they're going up to 4 cards in hand now. So that's much of a muchness and doesn't really matter. In comes a 4/5 Tarmogoyf. We're going to block like this. And then we're just going to Becoments on Ignoble Hierarch and get really blown out here. We'll delve... Actually, I should have delved more stuff away. Okay, interesting point that I just made a mistake on there. Is that I played 5 mana plus exile on the Planeswalker. I should have exiled my entire graveyard using Well, I could have got rid of my whole graveyard. But we would have shrunk the Goyf, right? Drown the Lot would have still been able to kill the Noble Hierarch because we would have had to leave 1 card in the bin. Yeah, just rough, honestly. I don't really know what our selection of cards are doing against this. We've got an Infect creature now, I guess. Maybe we luck out and they have nothing moving onwards. And we get to just kill them with an Infect creature. You never know. You never know. Surprise, surprise, they have another removal spell. I mean, what are the chances? Pretty high from the looks of things. Their deck is mono fucking removal. We take 1, lose our Ashok, we untap, we draw a card that's going to be fucking useless. I'm just going to scoop it up. We're going to try and get around now where our metagame choice might matter. And we'll just play Bug mid-range the entire time. Because God hates me. Once more into the breach we go against an opponent called Namek. We of course lost the die roll. Feeling pretty unlucky after that first round of losing the die roll and then just playing into that particular matchup. But there's now a gamut of 4 rounds across this league for us just to play into stuff that we want to see. 2 lands, we can cast Listener Elf and we can go for it. So yeah, I'm going to keep this. Isn't it strange now that, okay, we're against the Hammer deck. Isn't it strange that we're in a world where, oh fuck, we're just going to die to like the perfect nut draw? That'd be very funny. Isn't it weird that we're in a world where like you just don't play any cantrips in your Infect deck? There's just no reason to, right? Because the consistency of the Infect spells is so damn high. I mean, if they hit us for 11 here, we hit them back for 10 Infect and just kill them. So that's nice. They attack us for 1 here. We actually die if they have double hammer, if they have the truest of nut draws. So there's hammer 1. If they have double hammer, I'm going to do a little shit. I'm going to literally shit myself. Wow. We have them dead next turn if they only hit us for 11. Because we scale up, we all Might of Crows and we hit them for 11 Infect. Fucking hell. Right, this can't give their creature hexproof. This does, but we don't have the mana. If we had 1 green, we could Vines their own Memnite and stop the Colossus Hammer. This is insane. I don't want to put out a video where I'm just moaning about being unlucky, but that was pretty fucking unlucky. We're going to bring in 4 Force of Vigor and 3 Gem Razor. Gem Razor feels genuinely slow, but if we have a turn with a Dork on turn 1, then I guess it's not so bad. I guess there's a world where we should have just kept up Vines to screw them. But they could have flashed one of them in anyway. This seems good. Let's keep this. Fucking hell, that was a nutty draw, wasn't it? What a hell of a nutty draw. We can't actually cast Blighted Agent. It's the wrong hierarchy to cast Blighted Agent, but whatever. We're going to lead with Glistener Elf. They lead with Esper Sentinel. Okay. Noble Hierarch. Get in for 2 Infect. We can obviously force here, pitching Scale Up, and we can, or Vines, depending on how we feel, and we can pay the 1 on the Esper Sentinel if we need to. We only do that if it's going to be obviously really brutal. There's a Saga. Okay, so we can blow up a Saga and a Sentinel here if we wanted to. Sigarda's Aid. That's a pretty damn good magic card there. We're going to force a Vigor and we're going to choose Esper Sentinel and the Sigarda's Aid here. And we're going to pitch Vines. We will pay the 1. If they flash in a Hammer here, we can't pay and they get to draw a card, I guess. But we'll pay the 1. And now we just get to untap, Scale Up or Glistener Elf and kill them, I believe. So we're going to scale up this. So it's a 6/6. Oh no, we're 1 short actually. We're 1 short. But, take them to 9 Infect. Which means we can kill them in the air with the Inkmoth Nexus. We couldn't have tapped with the Inkmoth Nexus there as well, for those wondering at home, because we would not got the Exalted Trigger, and therefore we would have just hit them for the same amount. We would hit them to 9, but be more tapped out. Force of Vigor is a pretty unreasonable magic card, let's be real. They play a Pure Steel Paladin, so they will cantrip off any equipment. They play a Shadow Spin, they cantrip. They draw a card. That's what cantrip means, by the way. It either means a 1-mana spell that ends up drawing you a card, or a card that replaces itself, or draw a card. There we go. Okay, we got them. We haven't infected anyone yet, but we got them. On to game 3. Another unkeepable hand. That's 2 0-landers we've seen so far. Here's a 1-lander. It's got a Force of Vigor and it's got Glistener Elf, so we have to keep it. We're going to put, I guess, Might of All Corrosive to the bottom. Yeah, because Vines interacts with them. And then we're going to probably lead with Ignoble Hierarch just to get a good amount of mana for the following turn. Oh, I guess we lead with Glistener Elf, actually, really. In case we draw another land on the following turn, so we can go Ignoble plus a spell. Although Vastwood is not very good for 1 mana, let's be real. They lead with Sigarda's Aid. I'm actually going to lead with Noble, because we want to be able to mutate this Gem Razor onto a Glistener Elf. Honestly, I haven't mutated something. I mutated something in Commander recently, and the whole table wasn't sure whether the creature should have got the Power and Toughness. I believe you can put the Power and Toughness over it. And it will get Reach, Trample, and it will blow up an artifact or an enchantment as well. So that's nice. There's an Esper Sentinel, there's an Urza Saga. Do I want to Force of Vigor the Esper Sentinel and the Aid here? Probably. We're going to pitch Vines to it. I can't pay the 1, so you can draw a card. The 2 for 1 is worth it, though. We untap, we draw a Glistener Elf. So we're just going to go Glistener Elf and Glistener Elf. We didn't draw a Glistener Elf. I'm an idiot. I was too busy thinking about what I was playing this turn. We drew a Might of Old Corrosive. So next turn we can actually, like, mutate the Gem Razor if we draw a land, which would be gas. Otherwise, we'll draw a second spell. As long as it's not become immense, it's probably a second spell that we can cast as well. So we can start to really threaten them. Nothing from them. They can make a Golem off the Urza Saga, of course. We drew an Inkmoth Nexus. So we're going to mutate onto this Glistener Elf, which I've never mutated a Gem Razor on Modo before. I've done it on Arena. We should get an option to put the Gem Razor over the top, right? Do we lose the Infect? No, we keep the Infect. It's just the Power and Toughness we care about. Right? Learning with KENOBI. Learning with KENOBI. They're going to make... Don't make the Golem now, my friend. That's a bad idea. Okay, so this mutates onto it. I'll put Gem Razor over the Glistener Elf. Top creature with each creature... over. So now we have an Infect, Reaching, Trample, and we get to kill their only blocker. That was just a punt on their part, I think. I guess maybe the Urza Saga is going to go get something that I'm not thinking of that's just incredibly strong. But I take 5 Infect here. Next turn we can go Might of Old Corrosive onto the Trampler, attack with a 1/1 in the air, a 1 on the ground, and a 9/9 trampling creature on the... reaching trampling infecting creature, obviously. So they make a mana here. They lose the Urza Saga, which allows them to get something. I can't imagine what they could get that really combats this. This is cool. The Gem Razor interaction is very cool. And I've yet to see it in a game. A Colossus Hammer, sure. They play a Pure Steel Paladin. They need 2 more artifacts to be able to equip that. Sure, they draw a card here. I mean, that's going to be a big old boy if we're not careful. Oh boy, they can. They can equip all of it. Oh, they have 2 creatures. Well, I guess they just died the Inkmoth now, right? Because they don't have any reaches. So we animate this. They're on 5 Infect right now. And then we just make a green, cast Might of Old Corrosive onto here, which is +4/+4 in the main phase. And they're dead to 5 Infect in the air. There you go. We got there with Infect. Thanks mainly in part 2. Well, actually, mainly because of Force of Vigor. The card is fucking absurd. But Gem Razor did put in some work. Our opponent making the Golem in response was probably wrong. But even then, if they had made it after we targeted the Urza Saga, because this can destroy enchantments, right? Yeah. Then they would have just had to block with it anyway, and they still would have... Well, they wouldn't have been dead here. They actually would have been alive. It would have been a massive, massive change. We've won the die roll here, so maybe our luck is turning. We can cast both of the creatures. We have an Ink Moth and we have a Pump Spell. This is pretty good, pretty good. Our opponent's got a frog avatar as well. They are also a man, or person, should I say, of culture. We're just going to lead with Overgrown Tomb, pay the green here for the Glistener Elf, and pass the turn. Next, we can play Ink Moth to get it to be not summoning sick. We can get in for 1 or 5 Infect, depending on how we're feeling. Black for a Champion of the Perished. Okay. Interesting. Vines of the Vastwood here. I think I'm just going to get in for 5 Infect here. Well, I mean, they can block it. And then we're just trading 1 card for 1 card. No, they're just taking 5 Infect, which is probably... I wouldn't advise that. I would never advise taking 5 Infect. They're going to play... Oh, God, it's a load of... It's zombies I don't know. So I know this one is the Champion of the Parish, but Perished, which is a clever pun. I love it. This is the 2 mana 1/1 at the beginning of your end step. If you control no creatures with Decayed, create a 2/2 with Decayed. Okay, and that will grow the Champion of the Parish this turn. No attacks from our opponent. They make a Decayed zombie. They grow the Champion. That's cool. This is something I do want to play at some point. Is Zombie or Vampire Tribal from the new sets. Okay, so I guess we get in for 6 Infect here. Next time we can kill them with vines if they don't have an answer. And you know what? I'm not going to crack this in their turn. I'm going to crack it now. I'm going to get an Overgrown Tomb. Because I don't want to crack it and then they kill my thing in response, right? So we're going to go in for 1 Infect here in the air. Which takes them to 6 Infect total. Which means vines onto the Inkmoth Nexus kills them. I kicked vines, I might say. Although 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We actually can become into next turn. But it will leave vines down. They shock in a Blood Crypt. And they pay 2 mana for a Goblin Bombardment. Well, that's not good. We can blank 1 Goblin Bombardment here with this Decayed body. Oh, this is the proper Goblin Aristocrats going on. Oh, this guy isn't a zombie. He's a human wizard. The art is very confusing, honestly. I love this art. Well, looks like we're not going to get to kill them. Because they're going to get to sack off all their bodies. So they're going to get in. They're going to get in for 5. They're going to sack the zombie token to kill my Glistener Elf after the fact. This elf is gone. This is pro-red, pro-white, though, which is definitely something. This champion is getting big. If we get hit by the champion, we might just be dead, is the problem. We have 3 spells. They have 4 bodies. Can I get them to wrath their entire board to kill my Inkmoth? Maybe. We're going to have to shock ourselves, though, to do so. We're going to animate the Inkmoth next. We're going to go to combat and we're going to attack. We've got to start the chain of events, though, by firing off spells into it. Oh, no, that's not good. Okay, we're going to cast Mutagenic Growth here, just to, like, force their hand. They've got to ping it now before this resolves. Oh, they're not going to. Okay. We're going to give it... We're going to just fire off a Vines of the Vastwood into it to stop them from being able to ping it. They shoot it for 1. They shoot it for another 1, I assume. With the other one on the stack, I'm just going to become... Oh, I can't become immense until this resolves. Oh boy, that's not good. Maybe I should have Vines first. Because we're actually 1 short of become immense. This was going to give us the become immense, right? Okay, well... Oh no. So we're dead now, right? Because we get hit for 4 here. They play another zombie, it becomes a 5, and they ping us for 1. Just any 1 zombie kills us. We were close. We were close. Goblin Bombardment is a rough magic card for our deck, that's for sure. We might have to bring Force of Vigor in for that reason. This was a 5/5. They should have done that before combat. Oh, we're still dead. We're still dead. So they just sack both these off to kill us. This is sick. I love this deck. I don't love playing against it with Infect. But yeah, they got us. Okay, let's go to post-board now. So Gravecaller suggests that we might want sideboard tech. That Goblin Bombardment is so bad for us that we've kind of... But Gem Razor needs the body to survive, and our bodies are X1s. That is rough. We might have to bring Force of Vigor in against the Goblin Bombardment zombie deck, which just seems dreadful. Honestly. But that's how backbreaking it is. Bring these in, cut the growths, I guess. Although growth is fine into the bombardment, I guess, but so is all of our other spells. Okay, doesn't feel good. Don't know if this is right. Maybe we should be bringing this in over a Might of All Corrosive, let's say. So we can go a bit longer with our Nissa. We've got nothing to interact with their graveyard, and their grave crawlers being brought in because I'm already diluting the deck to bring in the Force of Figures. Them looping a grave call isn't the scary thing. It's them goblin bombarding us is the scary thing. Okay, so we have Cradle, Ink Moth. Okay, this seems fine, honestly. So you have my Cradle into Noble Hierarch. Play a Blighted Angel next turn and just try and kill them, I guess. That's our plan. We don't want them to go one drop into Goblin Bombardment. That would be bad. Lightning Bolt my Noble. Oh, I didn't expect that, honestly. Now we don't have a way to play a Blighted Agent. Oh, we do. Play a Noble Hierarch, and we've got Might of All Corrosive to waste a card not protecting from Bolt. Please not another Bolt. No more Bolts, please. A Shambling Ghast. Okay. So when they kill it, they can kill my Noble Hierarch, which is interesting. Okay, do we have the kill here? We animate the Ink Moth for 1. No, we do not have the kill here, unfortunately. We have nowhere near the kill here. We're going to play a Blighted Agent. And we're going to keep up Might of All Corrosive to protect our Blighted Agent from the Shambling Ghast death trigger. If they play a Goblin Bombardment here, we just lose. Which is kind of sad, really. That we're so soft to Goblin Bombardment of all things. They attack us. We have no blocks. We go to 18. We untap. They have an onboard kill effect. Plus spells in hand, right? So, we're going to start by scaling up our Blighted Agent, I guess. At which point they'll try and kill it with Shambling Ghast, which we'll protect with Might of All Corrosive. We're doing a lot to go in here. If they have a Bolt, obviously we just lose the creature. They are just dead if they don't have another removal spell, though, because Might of All Corrosive makes the Blighted Agent lethal. They're thinking, what have they got? Colligan's Command. Target player discards a card and 2 damage to the Blighted Agent. So I guess we're going to just do it again. So it's now a 5/5. They take 2. We're going to discard Blighted Agent, I guess. It becomes a 9/9. It goes back down to an 8/8. I forgot that we're getting +4/+4. And now it's a 13/11. And then we're going to go to combat and we're going to infect them. Okay, we got there in the end for 14 points of infect. Whew, I wish we weren't playing so much red and black removal. Or black removal, should I say. Jeez. Okay, we've got another unkeepable hand. I wonder if this is common. We can keep this. We can't actually cast this Phyrexian Crusader, so I'm tempted to bottom it, honestly. We've got Force of Vigor just for Goblin Bombardment here. Or if they're randomly a Urza Saga. Like, why wouldn't you play Urza Saga, am I right? We're going to untap and draw a Blighted Agent. We're going to go Pendelhaven. We're going to tap it, and we're just going to play a Noble Hierarch here to get as much mana as possible. They don't shock themselves with their fetch land, so they aren't killing us with a Fatal Push or similar in end step. They untap and play a beautiful looking Swamp. Shambling Ghast. Prismatic Ending to exile our Noble. Well, can't say I don't hate that card, but I fucking hate that card. So we're now going to play Glistener Elf, keeping up Pendelhaven. And this way we can survive the Shambling Ghast being sacrificed. We want to get the Blighted Agent to resolve and stick around, essentially. We're getting a Breeding Pool, we're going to shock ourselves, and we're going to go ahead and play a Glistener Elf. They have 6 cards in hand after they draw. So 5 cards in hand after they draw. They play a Sack Outlet. To be expected. They play another Prismatic Ending, the card that the gift that keeps on giving. One of the worst things Modern Horizons ever introduced into Tournament Magic. It's not broken enough for us to have to fucking ban it, but it's annoying enough that I hate fucking playing against it. Take this time to play the Blighted Agent. It allows us to keep Glistener Elf in our hand with Force of Vigor in case we see a fucking Goblin Bombardment. But at this point, we're still fighting through a Carrion Feeder, Shambling Vent, plus Shambling Ghast. 2 Shambling Ghast, actually. Not good. But we do have a lot of bodies, to be honest. So they're going to fire off Shambling Ghast number 1. We're going to give the Blighted Agent +1/+2. And they're going to fire off the second Shambling Ghast. There we go. So we've killed 2 bodies to get rid of our Blighted Agent. The Carrion Feeder is now at 3/3, though. There'll be a third Shambling Ghast. Oh, unearth the Shambling Ghast. Interesting. We take 3 here. We untap and we draw a Foothills. So we're playing another Ink Moth Nexus. We're going to animate the non-summoning sick one if I'm not a scrub. Oh, fucking hell. Fucking hell. Okay, well, I swear to fucking God it went under, but who knows when it comes to Modo. Can you right-click? Came to play this turn? Honestly, at this point, who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares? We can't attack with it. We should be getting in for 1 Infect here. If we lose with them on 9 Infect, then, well, I can blame Modo, I guess. It's so fucking stupid. I shouldn't pile them up. Newly controlled. Yeah, there is a little thing there saying newly controlled. There's no visual identifier until you right-click on it. So I should have checked that before doing it. That's on my bad for not knowing how the interface is in terms of how bad it is. Okay, so they can kill this zombie killer thing and draw a card. That's so good. The attack with Karen Feeder, the attack with Shambling Ghast. I guess we forced their hand by blocking with Glistener Elf and Pendlehavening it. Well, now they kill the Glistener Elf with the Shambling Ghast. And they draw a card and lose a life as well. And the Karen Feeder becomes a 4/4. We go to 9, we untap and we draw another land. Okay, we're going to animate. We're going to crack this and go get a forest. We're in dangerous territory now, but they only have 3 cards in hand, so maybe, just maybe we get there. We're going to go in for 3 Infect here, which should put them to 4 Infect, but I'm bad. They go to 3 Infect. Play the thing that makes a body every single turn. Woof. We take 6 here going to 2. So we need to draw exactly Become Immense, I think. Exactly Become Immense, otherwise we're dead. They're going to sack a body off, grow the Karen Feeder, draw a card, lose a life. They make another 2 to the end of turn because they didn't have 1. We draw Blighted Agent. Gives us blockers, I guess. There is that. We can't really crack that Verdant Catacombs. We can definitely play a Blighted Agent though. And then we need to have a Blink Moth Nexus up for the zombie token. And then we can take... Yeah, let's do that. That's our plan. Let's do some blocking. I mean, they got mana. They got all sorts going on. We're going to throw an Inkmoth Nexus under the Carrion Feeder. Keep the Blight Agent alive. They're going to Thoughtseize us. Sure, so we lose the Force of Vigor. That's fine. It's only there for the Goblin Bombardment tech that absolutely ruined us in game 1. Maybe I'm overcompensating. Maybe you just have to hope they don't draw it. But that seems like a very bad place to be when you're trying to figure out what you're doing. They're going to go to combat and attack us with everything. Just those 2. We're going to block here and here. And then before damage, we're going to grow our Blighted Agent into a 2/3, so it survives the attack. They just sack it into the Karen Feeder, obviously. Karen Feeder kills our Blinkmoth Nexus, going to a 5/5 out of 6/6. They sack the token that doesn't exist anymore. Then they make another token at end step. Karen Feeder number 2. We drew a Glistener Elf, which gives us 3 blockers for the following turn. Okay. So we just do this rodeo again. Is that where we're at? If they attacked with Jadar, they would have killed us. But we would have got to block the Jadar, I guess. Well, they shocked in a Blood Crib. So we're just getting K commanded to the... No, he hadn't bolted to the face. Cool. Good game. Good game. What would I have done differently? Maybe I could have sideboarded differently. This card was basically a dead card for this turn. But Goblin Bombardment was so brutal in game 1 that I didn't want to let it go uncontested. And I had nothing to interact with it with. Honestly, I don't think the hands we kept were that bad either. Rough game. Okay, well, we have a hand that we can keep, I guess. We shouldn't, though. They're on Lurrus. If they're on Jundor mid-range, we're just fucked again, aren't we? We're going to mulligan this. Yeah, sure. Does this deck just have bad mulligans? Like, you infect creature and the mana base not to fuck you, and we've had that not consistently enough thus far. Small sample size, I know. Temple Garden from our opponent. Are they on Boggles or Enchantress or something with a Lurrus? Or is Helio Combo play Lurrus now? No, it's Boggles. Okay. Boggles is like Infect, but for like normies. Let's go Foothills. Crack it. Our life total really does matter here. So we're going to go ahead and get a basic forest and play an Ignoble Hierarch. There's a world where we just dump both Vines of the Vastwood into a body. Wow, so that costs us 4 mana to do that. To block a Slippy Brogle before it gets too big to kill it. But honestly, that'll be in like 3 turns time or 2 turns time. And at that point, the Bogle's going to be too big to fight. Spider Umbra onto the Bogles. It's now a 2/2 with reach. It's now a 4/4 with first strike. Yeah, the whole Vinesing our own creature thing, that's kind of off the table now. We take 4. We should draw an Infect creature and Pronto. We did not, of course, we did not. So, we're just going to go ahead and play a Ignoble Hierarch. We're going to attack for 2. They Spirit Link their Bogle. So this isn't the worst thing in the world because them gaining like 1,000 life doesn't really matter to us. It's if they give it Vigilance... And if we can't draw an Infect creature that can get past it. Like a Blighted Agent would make things a lot easier. Hell, Blighted Agent probably allows us just to win the game. That's a 7/7 first strike, reaching Proto Lifelink, Post Lifelink, Lifelink adjacent, Spirit Linking. So we're going to take 7 here. We're going to go to 8. We're probably dead to any enchantment that gives them flying, whether that be Daybreak Coronet or anything. Modo lagged there, and I almost skipped my entire turn. Well done, Modo. They're on 21, so we can't even hope to, like, beat them to death with a noble. We're going to abandon that plan. We're going to play the ones at Heath. We're going to pass to our opponent. Yeah, I F6 and it lagged. I should have cracked this then F6 anyway. So we need him not to have trample or fly. Well, this doesn't give flying. I forgot. I thought it gave flying. So that's something. It's got vigilance now though. We've drawn no infect creatures, so I'm just gonna go fuck myself in a corner. Right. Let's see if we can get an infect creature and some lands. Come on. I don't think I can ever mulligan infect creature plus lands. I think that's what I need to stop doing. This is pretty fucking good, actually. What a gem raiser, which is gas into them. We have quite a strong post-board plan. Now that I fucked myself, anyway. So, as long as they can't kill our Noble Hierarch, as long as they don't path our Noble Hierarch onto it. Well, if they path it, we can go get a... Oh, no, we can't. We don't have any islands. We can get a breeding pool off this, though. It's not the end of the world. Let's go Yavimaya Cradle into Noble Hierarch and pass the turn. Slippery Bogle from our opponent. We're going to tap and draw Glistener Elf. We're going to play Verdant Catacombs. We're going to play a Blighted Agent. Do you know what? I'm just gonna play a Glistener Elf here. Like, even if they have one copy of Path, we have 2 Infect creatures. If they have 2 copies of Path, we'd kind of be sad. But it'll be fine. Ethereal Armor, sure, becomes a 2/2. Ethereal Armor becomes a 5/5. Sure, fine. Fine, if you insist. If you insist. They attack us for 5. We take it. We draw a land. So we're gonna go ahead and mutate this. Oh shit, you can't put it on Blighted Agent because it's a human. So we put that over again to make a 4/4. We just blow up an Ethereal Armor, and then we go to combat, we infect them for 5. And now, by the powers of Vines of Vastwood and Gem Raiser combined, we should be able to infect the shit out of them, unless they go on the defensive, and they like suit up and don't swing. Or they have Vigilance, like a Daybreak Coronet again or something. It's a 4/4. It's a 6/6 with First Strike, I hasten to add. They tapped the Temple Garden in, they got nothing else. So we can make this into an 8/8 or a 9/9 next turn. We drew a Glistener Elf. So we're going to go to combat and attack with, I guess, both. What's going on? We've had lands, infect creatures, and spells? What the fuck? So I just Vines the Blighted Agent and it kills them, right? Because that'll be 5. And they're on 5. So I don't have to fuck about killing the Boggle. We just kill them. Cool, we got them. We've won 1 game against Boggles. This shit's impossible. We actually have a hand that could kill them again. I don't believe it's happening. Maybe it is. They could go so fast that they kill us, though, to be fair. So Misty Rainforest will grab a Breeding Pool and allow us to play Glistener Elf. And Misty Rainforest cracking it, grab Breeding Pool, shocking ourselves, and playing Glistener Elf. We can just tend them next turn if they tap out, right, with Scale Up plus Might of Volcrosa. So there's that. Don't become vigilant. Don't become vigilant. They're going to get us... Oh, an untapped Windswept Heath. Are they going to path us? Do I just go for it or do I make them have it? I make them have it, right? Play another Boggle. Go on. No. What if they have a path, though? So is making them have it a bad thing? I shouldn't do that. Look, we're going to make them have it. Oh, God. I want to do well, because the deck's meant to be good. Scale Up. It's a 6/4. +4/+4. It's a 10/9. Do you have path? They have path. Oh, no. No, 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 no. So I just lost myself the game by making them have it. Would you have made them have it, chat? Would you have made them have it? Comment section, tell me in the comment section below. Would you have made them have it? Oh, fuck my old boots. We get to play 1 Blighted Agent plus 1 Inkmoth Nexus next turn. Maybe I should never have gone for the 4. Maybe I should hit them for 6 and left it at that. They shocked themselves here, so they're going to make this Boggle so fucking big. Oh, them having Path was rough. So rough. And then they go on Path into Spirit Dancer, so the next thing, cantrips. Like, without Spirit Dancer there, they were low on resources, down to 2 to 3 cards in hand. But now, it's just pure gas for the rest of the game. On the upside, this isn't that big. So whilst this is gas, it's not their best line. They hit us for 3. We drew a Pendelhaven, so we're going to go Inkmoth, so it's untapped next turn. We're going to play a Blighted Agent. We're going to pass back to our opponent. They're going to name Inkmoth Nexus with their needle. Who said Modern is a game of sideboard cards, chat? Comment section. Who said that Modern was a game of sideboard cards? We may or may not have won several games off the back of fucking Force of Vigor, and now we're getting fucked by like sideboard paths and sideboard needles. Take 3, I guess. Maybe they got no more enchantments. Is their hand just full of Path to Exiles? No fucking way. Land drop. They put Lurrus into their hand. Gross. We drew Become Immense. Can we kill them? In for 1. There's obviously no blocks. So we're going to make this into a 2. And then we're going to Become Immense this guy. We get them for 8 Infect here. So we can kill them next turn with Pendelhaven plus Blight Agent if they don't have anything. They've got Lurrus in hand and 2 other cards. One of which we know is not an enchantment. But if they hit 1 enchantment, they cast it and they start to chain off Core Spirit Dancer. And they get hit runner enchantments. We just need them not to be able to grow their power and toughness on board by 6 on the current bodies. Them playing a Lurrus doesn't do anything. We don't care about that. Oh, I'm fucking tense. As much as I'm moaning about Cybercards... Oh! I was about to say, as much as I'm moaning about Cybercards, that was fun magic. That was... Oh, that was tight. That was tight like a fucking tiger. It's the final round and we have lost the die roll. That last round I definitely drew all the infected creatures that I didn't draw in one of the rounds before. That's the thing, like, you can moan for one round, one game even a whole event. You can go to FNM and just draw terribly. And the next FNM when like it evens out, because that's what it does, it eventually evens out, right? I believe in the cosmic forces of RNG. You don't notice. You don't actually notice. Blighted Agent plus Pendelhaven plus Become a Mensch and a lot of fetch lands. Do you know what? I said earlier I cannot mulligan lands and infect creature. That's what I've learned from this limited window, this limited testing sample size. If they thought seize us now and take Blighted Agent, I'm gonna go on Twitter and I'm gonna rant, and I didn't do it, so it's all fine. We're doing the Blighted Agent, which isn't terrible. We're going to play the Misty Rainforest, and we're going to pass the turn. We're going to get Breeding Pool at the end of their turn, and then play Pendelhaven into Blighted Agent. Our opponent fetches a Watergrave tapped on our end step. Wonder what they're going to be. Oh, their mill. That powers the Become Immense. As long as they don't have the fucking, whatchamacallits in their hand, the kill my stuff spell, we're going to be fine. They know we're Infect now. Or we're Noble Hierarch Beatdown. One of the two. We're going to crack our Misty. Now, what we should have done was we should have cracked our Misty before that resolved, because they milled our Breeding Pool. We would have been fucked. Like, really fucked. Our life total matters little now, so I'm going to be fetching on my turn as well. They're going to Archive Trap us. Okay. They didn't hit both of our both of our Overgrown Tombs, so we're okay. Double Archive Trap. Shit. Okay, they hit one of our Overgrown Tombs and one of our forests. We don't have a lot of fetchable lands left, honestly. I'm going to have to fetch with this now. We'll play Pendelhaven next turn. The one forest left. It's alright. I got this. We got this. Pass back to our opponent with our Blighted Agent. Next turn we get to go Pendelhaven, Noble, attack them, trigger on the stack, Pendelhaven it, and we get to hit them for 9 Infect. They have a Field of Ruin to kill our Pendelhaven the one time. They're going to field our Blue Source already. That actually changes our entire next turn because we have no lands left. Okay. Oh, that hurts. That really hurts. They mill us again for 3. They draw a lot of cards off of their Visions of Beyond. And then we're going to hit them for a bunch and hope they can't mill us out next turn. So we drew a Blinkmoth Nexus. So we're going to go Noble Hierarch. We're going to Overgrown Tomb. We're going to pay the 2 life. We're just going to fire off the Becomings right now onto the Blighted Agent. And we're going to get rid of all of these cards. I don't give a shit what we get rid of. We have no recursion in our deck. 7. And then we're going to get in for 8. And the beauty is, if they somehow kill the Noble Hierarch somehow, but not the Blighted Agent, we can still Pendelhaven for the 2 next turns. So they're on 8 Infect. They are dead next turn. They are dead on our turn 4. Ruin and Crab from our opponent. So 1 land mills us for 6. Yeah, okay. So we go down to 7 cards left in library. And they have 4 cards in hand, by the way. So Teshar's Laughter just kills us. Don't be Teshar's. Oh, shit, son. Okay, we're dead. Very close. Very, very close. We are dead. Ugh. So we have 4 Endurances in our sideboard. That's pretty good into mill, I've heard. And I might bring in Asher as well because of their fetch lands. Our opponent's on 64 cards in library. 57 currently and 7 in hand. 64. Interesting start. This hand is bad. We can't cast this Phyrexian Crusader. If any of these were Infect creatures, we can keep it. This hand is better. We have an Infect creature. So we're going to keep this. And we're going to bottom a Noble Hierarch, I guess. We're going to leave with Glistening Elf so we can get into the red zone next turn for 2. They're going to Archive Trap us because we searched. So we lose 13 cards from our library. Any more Archive Traps, my friend? Any more? 2 Archive Traps. Lose 26. Is it a triple Archive Trap hand? Don't be triple Archive Trap. That makes our chances of winning quite low. No, we're good. We're good. We only got... we only lost half our library on turn 0. They play a Crab, I assume? No, they're just going to draw 3 cards. Sure. A casual Ancestral Recall. Okay. They're going to surgical my endurances. That makes sense. A second surgical would be brutal because they can hit any of the things in our bin to get the version in our hand. They had a second surgical, so they hit our Might of Crusader. Yeah, I know I've been saying it, but it's fucking true. That is a nut draw. Double archive trap, draw 3, double surgical. Into our Malta 5, by the way, as well. So we kind of had a really good thing going on. We're going to 2 them, then 3+4. But we're not going to anymore. So we're going to play an on Nexus. We're going to play a Noble Hierarch. Do you know what? I'm going to play an Ignoble Hierarch in case you get Thoughtseize, because that allows us to play a Crusader. If we draw one, maybe the rest of the hand is garbage. Maybe the rest of the hand will not just murder us dead. We infect them for 2. Next turn, we can infect them for 4, 5, 6. So we're on a 3-turn clock at the moment. I guess we infect them for... Oh, God, I don't fucking know. That is a rough opener. EE for 1. Are you taking the fucking piss? Okay, they can't detonate for 1 more turn. So we've got 1 turn of hitting them with what we currently have. And then we can ink moth them to death with the rest of it, I guess. Got 1 mana up. They shocked themselves for that. So is that a push, maybe? Fucking hellfire. Okay, so we shouldn't have played the Ignoble Hierarch, I guess is what we're learning. They're going to extirpate the Noble Hierarch. Wow. Fucking wow. This is... Okay, it's fine. It's all fine. We're just losing everything in our hand and our library at the same time. We're now just going to play the Phyrexian Crusader, I guess. And then hit them for 2. 2 infect there. We get to hit them for 6 next turn. We're close. We're still close. In spite of their nut draw, it's still a close game. And that's when... I guess that's when Modern's at its best. Modern or Legacy, I'd say. Is when you have games where your opponent can have a nutty draw where you're like, what the fuck? But you can still come back from it. That's what I like in my games. So EE will kill Noble plus Glistener Elf, which is just fucking absurd. And then we can Vines our Crusader. If we draw a land, we can also animate Ink Moth. We can get him for 5, which is 1 off. Or maybe we draw... Oh, they're detonated now. I have no idea what they're detonated now. So we don't untap with the mana on upkeep, I guess. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. We untap. We find a Vines. So we can't actually cast this Vines because we need double green, and we don't have double green. So we're just going to infect them for 3. Which means we kill them next turn. Take them to 7 infect. Can they mill the final 19 cards in our deck? Can they kill our Phyrexian Crusader? Can they... What's it got pro from? Pro red, pro white. So a Drown in the Lock does kill it, as does Fatal Push. There's a Crab. The Crab can block our Crusader, by the way. Double Crab. Oh my goodness. Okay, what do we draw? Another Ink Moth. Not the worst, but not the best. Attack again. Oh, I've animated the wrong fucking Ink Moth Nexus, chat. Oh, how the fuck have I done that again, Modo, you piece of fucking shit. Oh, we could lose the game off of that. Holy fucking shit. That's so irritating. They should be on 8 infect, which would make them dead to any Noble off the top. For the love of fuck, Mode. Animate the other one before playing. Or just right click and look for this newly controlled bit. Why can't we have a little thing? Like a little visual identifier that you have for fucking creatures. I know because lands don't get summoned sick. I know that! Comment section. Shut up. Okay, so we are getting rid of skin of our teeth. We've made another punt. A huge punt, honestly. I can't cast that anyway. Let's animate this. Go to combat attack. They block with the Crab, because otherwise they die. They get 8 infect. They should be on 9 infect. That's the difference for the whole turn! Oh, God, I fucking... Oh, it's partly my fault. It's partly Modo's fault. Fucking hell. What is this? So we're going to mill 4 and they're going to draw a card. Sure. They cycled Fractured Sanity. They're going to untap. They got 2 mana. Feeling okay. They've played a Strand, but after the double Crab. Is this Teshar's? I think Teshar's probably kills us, because all 3 of our Phyrexian Crusaders are in the bin now. So Teshar's is just going to hit 15 cards. So it wouldn't have mattered, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, because they would be on 9 infect and then we're dead. Oh, fuck, so close! Comment section, so close. That was Bug Infect by Jeff Jabba. This is the 4th place deck from MTG Vegas. Crusader is apparently a really good metagame call right now for the reasons listed in the intro. In all fairness, it was dog shit throughout all 5 of our games. But I played only, it seemed, Boggles, Hammer, and then like blue-black decks. Fuck knows what's going on there. We come close to a 3-2. with a bit more tightness, and a slightly better draws, we probably could have easily 3-2 to 4-1. The deck still feels powerful. Infect has always felt powerful. It's just bad into a mid-range metagame. And I guess the majority of Modern right now is, in theory, not very mid-range. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. Amulet and Hammer. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Don't forget to smash subscribe as well for more future Modern Legacy, Commander, and other gameplay. I make a ton of different shit over here on YouTube. And don't forget, if you want to support the channel, Patreon link in the description below. Ta-ta for now.